mother was a woman that did not give up and did not take no for an answer. Her tenacity, her perseverance, her courage still lives on in so many of us.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day that you're listening to my podcast. First of all, thank you so much for listening to Chiquis and Chill, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day. And oh my goodness, listening to this audio takes me back to that special day. Oh my God, I had such a great time, you guys, celebrating my mom. She was recently honored with a star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you guys. I was there with my siblings, Jackie, Jenica, Johnny, and Mikey, and the singer Gloria Trevi. And it was a very, very special moment, you guys. So this episode is going to be entirely about that and what really happened that day. So let's do it. Okay, guys. So first of all, let me just explain or express, should I say, how freaking proud I am of my mother. Even if I wasn't her daughter, you guys, I'd be so proud of everything that she's accomplished as a woman because she had all odds against her. She was heavily criticized when she started her career because she was a single mother. She had 5 children. She wasn't, a size 2. And especially back when she started, it was all about being like perfect. People didn't know that Facetune and, editing pictures and all this stuff existed. So everyone thought that, oh my God, artists are so perfect. So it was even harder for her. And she really came to like humanize artistry, I feel, and being a singer and being on television and everything. So, she was a young girl from Long Beach who struggled with men and the whole thing, and she made it. So to have her star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame is huge. And I am just so overwhelmed as a woman, as an artist. I'm so inspired by her. And of course, as a daughter, I'm just so freaking proud. I don't know. So let me go back to that day because it was a very, very wonderful day. I was fine when I got there. I decided to wear white because that's kind of what I saw. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to wear. I just ordered something from Amazon, honestly, like 3 days before. And I was like, okay, I want white. That's what I like kind of, I just imagined that. And I was fine until we got there, you guys. And then I heard like a helicopter because they were covering it, like the news and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this is huge. It like hit me when I got there. I was like, oh my God, this is a very big moment. This is serious. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. Because I've been so busy with work and my tour and everything that I've learned to just kind of like deal with things a week at a time. And I think that's what happened with the star. And then seeing my siblings. And then I didn't prepare a speech, you guys. I just wanted to speak from my heart. My sister had told me like 2 weeks before, like prepare your speech and stuff like that. But I was like, I just want to speak from my heart. Like it's not about me. It's about my mom. I want her to shine. And anyways, I got there and then the tears started already. Like we were in the back waiting and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my mom. And then the whole thing of her not being here, I wish she was here to receive it herself, came, but I had to hold it together for my siblings, because I'm like, I need to be strong. My nieces and nephews are there. This is a huge deal, and we're going to touch everything because a lot was said afterwards and it just really upset me. And I talked to my sister, Jackie, this morning and I was like, hey, can I talk about certain things that were said on TikTok and then on the media? Because I really want to set the story straight. And this is where I get to do that, you guys, here with you guys, my listeners, and where I could just pour my heart out and tell my truth, Anyways, that was the day of. The week of, you guys, the star was so crazy because we were going back and forth on whether we should invite my extended family, my mom's, mother and father and her siblings. And it was my idea. And the only reason that I am saying it is because there's a network that I'm not going to mention and a show that I'm not going to mention, but I was very upset that said and didn't say allegedly Chiquis. No, they were like saying it like a matter of fact sort of thing, saying that I did not want my extended family there, that I was very upset about it. 100% BS, you guys. 110% BS. That's why it upset me so much because some networks will do anything or some shows like just to talk shit. And that goes to tell you like some people really believe this stuff, which is why I feel there are people out there that don't like me because the media has made it a point in some way or another to try to make me look bad. And I'm like, what the hell? If you guys only knew, I was the one that mentioned it. I was in my moment of prayer one day, meditating, and God put this in my heart. Like literally, I felt it in my heart so heavy. I had to send my siblings a message because the plan was not to invite anybody other than her children, her like only close people. And anyways, I said, you guys, we at least have to have my mom's parents there. They have to be there. Those are her parents. And, we had a conversation and we went back and forth, and some were happy, some weren't about it. I was like, okay, I'm going to leave it to you guys. You guys decide. Then it was like, no, we're not inviting them because they've done this, this, and this, and that. And I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah. I mean, in a way, they don't really deserve to be there because they've done some really effed up stuff, But then it just kept coming back to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, we have to invite not only my grandparents, all her siblings. Like, we have to. The only one we had invited from my mom's siblings was my Tío Gus. And he was going to be there with his family or with honestly, there was only 70 seats, you guys. And we had to really think hard. It wasn't that we didn't want other people there. It was just really, really, who are we going to invite because the space is very limited. So anyways, I brought it up to my siblings again, and I told my sister. My sister called me crying one day, Jackie. She's just like, I have this crazy feeling. Like, I really do think that we should invite them. And I said, sister, you are the CEO. Don't worry about the other siblings or whoever's going to get upset. Like, this is your decision, and we are all going to have to respect it. And I really think that we should. So she said, okay, I'm going to do it. And she was so nervous, but I prepared my siblings. I was like, look, whatever Jackie says, we have to respect. Her position is already hard enough as it is, and it is what it is. So although I agree with some of my siblings, because I'm not going to say names, with some of the things that they said, because I validate their feelings and what they have to say and how they feel towards some of my family members is absolutely valid. I still wanted to respect my sister. And not only that, the intuition that I was feeling of they have to be there. So anyways, some decided to go, some decided not to go. Now, another thing that was said was that we didn't allow anyone to give interviews. When my sister sent out the invitation, my sister said, hey, this invitation is solely for you. The space is limited, and the only requirement is not to give any interviews. We weren't even going to give interviews. Not her children, not anyone, because it was about Jenni Rivera. We wanted her to shine. So if everyone was giving interviews, it was just like we wanted just the media to talk about her and her accomplishment, which is why we said, please, no interviews, because we didn't want something to be said and then, for it to take the attention away from what was most important, which is my mother. So they got, I guess, offended about that, some of them. And, later on gave interviews and said, oh, they didn't let me invite this person and that person. It's like, that is not true. All of them got an invitation, her siblings, not the wives, not the children, not my cousins, because again, the space was very limited. And my grandpa said that we didn't invite his girlfriend. And I'm just like, well, no. First of all, we don't know her. She didn't know my mom. There's no space. It's not because we don't want her here, but also it's not the moment. In my heart, I was like, just be happy that you're here. Even though we have differences, like huge differences, we still thought that it would be best for you guys to be here because my mother deserves that, because we're going to put everything to the side, all of the BS to the side for one day, for a few hours, to honor our mother. And that's what we did. And I feel like either way, we kind of got, not by everyone, kind of got like the short end of the stick from them because they still weren't happy. And it's just like, dude, like, why not just send us a message and ask, hey, why don't you want us to give interviews? Or why can't I invite this person? And we'll gladly explain to you why, versus going on freaking YouTube or going here and there and just talking out of your ass. Like, why? That's why I don't get. And it just frustrated me because then they started all this crap around it. And I'm like, don't take the beauty away from my mother's star. Then another thing is, a lot of people saw, and I saw it on TikTok, and they wanted to know, and I wanted to clarify. When I was walking out after taking my pictures, which was just amazing, you guys, I was so overwhelmed with just joy and peace, because if there's anyone that deserves this moment is my mother. So I was just very, very happy. And I came across one of my uncles, my Uncle Pete, the pastor, and I said hello to him. We have no beef. We're good. He's apologized. He's honestly, we're chill. And then I saw his son, who I absolutely love, my cousin Hondo. He's also a singer. He's an amazing singer, by the way. And anyways, I saw him. So I was so happy. I was just like, oh my God, cousin, hi, whatever, It was really nice. And then my aunt, my mom's sister, Rosie, was right after Hondo, my cousin. And I honestly, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't planning on saying hello. I was just going to walk by. But she stopped me and she gave me her hand and she said, "I'm sorry." And I said, "For what?" And she said, "For your loss." And I was like, "Oh, the miscarriage." So I was like, "Okay." I said, "Thank you." And then she handed me something and people were asking because it's all over TikTok. So I was like, let me just set the story straight. They're like, "What did she hand you?" What she handed me was a picture, you guys, of a fan and I. I guess he was in the crowd and wanted to give it to me. And she said, "Hey, he gave me this and I just wanted to give it to you." And she pointed to him and I just said, "Oh, hi." And I didn't see the fan, to be honest. I never saw him. I was just like, I don't know who there were so many people, but I just said hi just in case he could see me. Because I'm being honest, you guys know I'm very, very transparent. So I can't even tell you that I saw the person. I just got the picture and I said, "Thank you." And that was it. And we haven't spoken since. And that was all that was said. She said, "I'm sorry for your loss." And she gave me that picture and that was it. There's nothing more to it. A lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, there's nothing more to it." She went out of her way to do that. And I'm grateful. And I think it's very big of her to say hello. And I'm grateful for that. But it was not me because as much as I love being the bigger person, I just didn't want to be fake because there is still like a huge conversation that needs to be had there. But I do appreciate that she said that. And also people were like, "Oh, Emilio didn't even say hi." Well, Emilio doesn't really know her, to be honest. He's only seen her once in his life and he's not in the media or anything like that. And I try not to involve him in any of that stuff. I don't want to like taint him with that. So I don't really speak to him much about like the issues with my family. So he doesn't really know what's going on. And he wasn't trying to be rude. He was just trying to get me out of there because they were trying to get me out of there and I had to leave because I drove to Arizona that day. I had a show. So it wasn't like him trying to be rude and not say hello. It was just he didn't know who she was until after I was like, "Oh," she said. He's like, "Oh, that was your aunt. Oh, okay." But not because he's not polite, because he's so polite. So anyways, I wanted to just talk about those things, kind of get that out of the way because a lot was said. And now, oh my God, you guys, they vandalized my mom's star. Not once, but twice, you guys. To the point where we have security guards at night roaming the area, protecting my mom's star, surveilling it because it's happened twice. And I just don't understand who would do this and why. In my opinion, it feels for sure an act of hatred because they're going directly to her star and not any other star around there, which I'm glad they're not because that's just so disrespectful. It's so disappointing. I don't know, but I heard that they also vandalized Selena's. I don't know if at the same time as my mom's or what, but it almost feels like, is it something like because they're Latin and there aren't a lot of Latin people on the Walk of Fame, you know? And I'm just like, what is happening? And it really hurt my heart because I was like, when it first happened, I saw it, I was like, what the heck? And I wasn't feeling good that day. So I couldn't, like, I was going to post a video because I usually like to and just express myself, but I couldn't because I was not feeling good. And then it happened again. And I'm like, what is going on? I wish that I could see the person doing this or at least know who it is. Not to do anything to them, but it's just more of just to see, like, is it a racist thing or is it just someone that doesn't like her or who the fuck would do this? It really upsets me and it hurts my feelings. And I know my siblings were also very like hurt and taken aback because it's like, what the heck? It's such a beautiful moment. And someone or people, I don't know, are trying to take that from my mom. But either way, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce already said that they're going to take care of it, that they're putting cameras. So I appreciate that. And they've done everything to like clean it. So every day it looks cleaner and cleaner and newer and newer. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Shame on those people. Hopefully they listen to my podcast. I don't know how, because I don't think a person that doesn't love my mom or love us is going to listen to my podcast, you know? But if they are, you know, 2 middle fingers up to you guys. It's not cool. What my mom would say was like, I hope their penis shrinks. But that's what my mom would say. I'm just saying, if it is a boy, even if it's not a boy, it's not cool. I don't know. It hurts my feelings so much. Like it really brought tears to my eyes because I'm like, dude, this is a woman that worked so hard, that came from the hood, literally, came from parents that were immigrants to this country and not only accomplished so much, but that's what we said the day of the star, you guys. We want my mother to be remembered for the woman that she was and that she is, and the imprint that she's left in people's hearts and in their minds, and the change that she's still making in people's lives. I just met this little girl at one of my meet and greets, and she was, I think, 10 years old. And my mom passed away 12 years ago. And she's a huge fan, and like huge. She knows all the songs. And I'm just like, dude, that is beautiful. That is the power of music, where she's just like, she's 10 years old. She learned about Jenni. I don't know when or at what age, but she's a huge fan. And that says a lot, you know? And I'm just like, why can't everyone just feel like, even if they're not of the same race, it's like, just feel proud. And again, I don't know if this is an act of racism, you guys, because I don't know. So I'm just as in the dark as everyone else. But I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's just the beauty of what this woman accomplished. And I don't know, I'm proud. So I'm hoping that it stops. I'm hoping that it was just a two-time thing, and that they understand that they're just wasting their time. And I would like to thank everyone that was there that day. We were in the shade. There were tents for us, but the crowd, my mom's fans, I saw so many OG fans that I know woke up super early to try to get a great spot. And it was so freaking hot, you guys. It's been so hot in LA lately. And they were there, not complaining, in the sun, you guys, standing for my mother. And I'm just so like grateful that you guys still love my mom so much and are helping us keep her legacy alive. So my siblings and I, we were just like, wow. I mean, we saw people that I haven't seen in years that I would see at my mom's concerts there. And it's so wonderful just to know that you guys have her back, our back. You have love for her, and you were there. So it was a huge crowd. It was like a huge moment. It felt so grand, you guys. It was like overwhelming of like joy. I felt so much joy. I gave, I think, one of the best shows that night, because I had to wake up super early to get ready, to pack everything, because right from the start, I was going to drive all the way to Arizona because I had a show that night. And I was going to take a flight, but there was no way I was going to make it. So I had a show in Yuma, and I gave one of my best shows, you guys, because I was just so happy and so proud that, I don't know. I mean, even fans, they sent me messages like, oh, you were so happy. You could tell like you were just like glowing. And I'm like, yeah, I was just feeling so much joy. And when I was on my way to Yuma, because it was like a 5-hour drive, I did think, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I went out of my way to try to say hi to my family, because I didn't. I just admitted that I wasn't going to say hi to my mom's sister. I did kind of feel like, should I have said hi to my grandparents? It was also crazy though. I didn't even really see them. You know, we walked in after them. When we walked in, they were already sitting down, and I did not mean to be disrespectful in any way. I didn't make any faces. I wouldn't have been mean to anybody, because of course I'm there to honor my mother, and I'm going to show people the kind of children she raised. So I wouldn't start any crap with anyone, of course, or give anyone bad faces, because my mom deserves more than that from us. But I do wish I maybe would have said hi or something, like just out of like courtesy, you know? But they didn't, you know, try to say hi to me, and it's okay. I think they also think that I'm the bad one here, the bad villain, the bad witch of the story that makes my brothers and sisters do this and do that. I mean, we've talked about it here on the podcast before, but that couldn't be further from the truth, you guys. They have this bad, you know, idea of me for some reason. And I think it's just, they just want to have someone to blame, so they're going to blame me. They're not like taking accountability for their actions, and not respecting my siblings as individuals, and knowing that they are grown. And that's one thing that my siblings showed that day. I was crying when all my siblings, all of them, each and every single one of them, when they gave their speech, you guys, I was so moved, so freaking proud, you guys, the way they spoke. And usually, you know, I'm the big sister. They'll come to me like, sister, what do you think about this? Especially Johnny or Jenica. You know, I wrote this, and what do you think? And you know, and they didn't. They wrote their own speeches. They spoke so eloquently. They were so strong. I'm like, damn, Like those are my mom's children. Like I felt very proud. I'm like, we did a good job. And I say we because I had a lot to do with it. Okay. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but toodaloo. But honestly, I felt very like proud. I'm like, oh my God, my mom is so freaking happy right now. Like I was the first to speak and Jackie was the last. And I was just so touched by their words and how they just carried themselves and they looked so amazing. And Jenica has always been the like shyest of all of us. And she just totally shined. She looks more and more like my mother every day. My brother Mikey is also one like not to like, he doesn't like cameras. He's very behind the scenes, as you guys know. But again, he speaks so well. And it's just, I was just so proud. So anyways, going back to that whole thing, I don't think they give my siblings enough credit. Like they're their own person. They have their own mind and I respect their decisions. I can't force them to do something or not to do anything. So anyways, I have just accepted the fact that maybe they're going to think that I'm this and I'm that, you know, talking about my extended family. And it's okay. It's okay with me. I'm okay with it. It is what it is. One day, the truth will come out. The truth will prevail. And my siblings and I have plans of doing that, of speaking our truth and speaking the facts because we've stayed quiet. And there are people out there that think that, you know, we are ungrateful children and are treating our family bad. And that's not the truth. There is a lot to be said and all in due time. And I'm sorry, but there are consequences that will happen and need to happen because of people's actions. And that is out of our control. And everyone needs to take responsibility for their own actions and maybe hopefully one day apologize. And if we need to do that, we will also do that as well. And I'm willing to. I'm willing to apologize if I need to. But anyways, that's a whole other story, you guys. I just kind of wanted to talk about that and just express myself. Obviously, el orgullo que siento, you know, the pride that I feel with my mother having her star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you guys, because that's something that she dreamt of. And not even dreamt of. She said, she manifested it. She affirmed it. She said, one day I'm going to have my star there. And I wish with all my heart she was here physically to accept it and to see it. But I'm like, wow, it's a lesson for all of us, like how important manifesting and not only manifesting, but also working hard because she worked very hard to get that. She wasn't just someone walking on this earth, like not trying to do something with their life. Like she helped people, like she did a lot. She was a philanthropist. She was a badass woman in every way. So she definitely deserves it. And it's beautiful to see that a little girl from Long Beach accomplished that and was able to do it, especially when she went against the odds, you know, and she had to push through the current. So with that being said, guys, it's just a beautiful thing to see that it's there physically now because she stated it and she wanted it and she worked for it. And I think that is so inspiring for all of us. So a round of applause for Miss Jenni Rivera. I love you, Mother. And hopefully my mom listens to my podcast too. I'm sure she does up in heaven. But Mother, I love you and I'm proud of you. So you guys, thank you so much for listening. We're going to wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And now you guys have some clarity on, you know, this whole thing with the star and everything that was said around it. I just wanted to kind of tell my truth and you know, set the story straight. And that's what it is, guys. So thank you so much. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm wishing you a wonderful tomorrow. Okay? Los quiero mucho. And I will see you here on the next episode of Chiquis and Chill. Do you need advice on love, relationships, health, y más? I'm so excited to share with you that my Chiquis and Chill podcast will have an extra episode drop each week. I'll be answering all your questions. Just leave me a voice message con todas tus preguntas y yo te las voy a contestar personalmente. All you have to do is go to speakpipe.com/Chiquis and Chill podcast and record your questions. I can't wait to hear from you. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.